Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to crochet this super easy and warm pocket shawl. It's very easy to do. We will be using a 1-row repeat, so it's just really relaxing and fun to work. This is how this stitch looks like. You can see it looks complicated, but I promise it's not. It's just very easy. We will be using 2 skeins at once, so it works up really fast. And like I said, it's really warm. You can use it at home while you crochet. You can put your crochet hooks inside or outside, of course, and it's so much fun to crochet. And now I will show you what we need and how to crochet this beautiful and easy pocket shawl. Today I'm using a 10mm crochet hook. You will also need a pair of scissors, a yarn needle, and the yarn you want to use. Today I am using Stylecraft Special Chunky. I really love working with this yarn. It's 100% acrylic yarn, but it's really soft. And you will need a total of 6 skeins for this shawl, and like I said, this yarn is pretty cheap and also very soft, and they have them in so many beautiful colors. Of course, you could also use a super chunky yarn. This is totally up to you, but I really loved working with this yarn, and I will put the link for the yarn down below. We will start with a slip knot, and like you can see, I'm using 2 skeins at once. So we have a really chunky yarn, and it makes a really nice effect on the scarf itself. So we will start with a chain. For my scarf, I crocheted 121 chains. If you want to make it larger or smaller, this is totally up to you, but it has to be a multiple of 2 plus 1. So a multiple of 2 plus 1. So 120 chains is a multiple of 2 plus 1. So we have a total of 121 chains. So keep crocheting your chains until you get the desired length. And I will show you how to start with row 1. For the first row, we will need the 3rd stitch from the hook. The loop on the hook does not count as a stitch. So we will count 1. Here's our first one. 1, 2, and 3. And what we are going to do, we will go right into the 3rd stitch. So no yarn over or anything. Just insert your hook into the 3rd stitch. Grab the yarn, pull up. Just like this. You have 2 loops on your hook, since we have 2 skeins at the same time. And now you will yarn over, insert your hook into the same stitch, grab the yarn, pull up, and now we will finish the puff stitch off. So all you have to do is grab the yarn, pull through all the loops, and chain 1. Now we will skip a stitch, go into the next stitch, so right here, and we will repeat the same thing. So we're not making a yarn over or anything, we just go right into the stitch. So skip 1, go into the next stitch, grab the yarn, pull up. Now you will make a yarn over, insert the hook into the same stitch again, grab the yarn, pull up, and now we will finish off our puff stitch. So grab the yarn and pull through all the loops, and to secure it, chain 1. And this is our repeat. So again, skip the next stitch, insert your hook into the stitch right next to it. So skip a stitch, insert your hook, grab the yarn, pull up, yarn over, insert your hook again, grab the yarn, pull up, and now we will go through all the loops and chain 1. And this is our repeat. So just keep repeating this all the way along, and I will see you back at the end of the row. So you will skip 1, go into the next stitch, insert your hook, grab the yarn, pull up, now yarn over, insert your hook again into the same stitch, grab the yarn, pull up, and now grab the yarn, go through all the loops, and chain 1. So just keep repeating this all the way along. I'm here at the end of my row and we have 2 stitches left, so we will do exactly the same thing. We will skip the next stitch, and into the last one we will insert our hook and just do exactly the same thing. Grab the yarn, pull up, now yarn over, insert your hook in the same stitch one more time, grab the yarn, pull up, and finish your puff stitch. So just like this. And at the end of the row, we will always chain 2. Now you will turn the work around, and now we can start with row 2. For row 2, we will be repeating the same thing. It's just really important where you will insert your hook. So here you can see is our puff stitch. If you pull it a little bit to the side, you can see this little space right here. So just right next to the puff stitch, not the big space here, but the one right next to it. If you pull it a little bit, you can see the stitches really clearly. So just make sure you insert your hook into the right stitch. So all we have to do now is again insert your hook into the stitch, into the space right there, pull up, yarn over, insert your hook again into the same stitch, grab the yarn, pull up, and again go through all the loops and chain 1. It's just really important that you don't yarn over, that you go straight into the space with your hook. So insert, grab the yarn, pull up, again yarn over, insert into the same stitch, grab the yarn, pull up, and grab the yarn through all the loops and chain 1. And this is our 1 row repeat. So you see it's really easy, and once you get the hang out of it, it works up really fast. So I will show you one more time. So right next to the puff stitch, we will insert, grab the yarn, pull up, yarn over, insert a hook into the same space, pull up, grab the yarn, pull through, and chain 1. So just keep repeating this all the way along. I'm here at the end of my row, and this is how the stitch looks like. And at the end of the row into the last puff, we will do exactly the same thing. So you can see right here we have the space next to the puff, and you will insert your hook, grab the yarn. I will show you one more time. So insert, grab the yarn, pull up, yarn over, insert the hook into the same stitch, grab the yarn, pull up, and now we can finish our puff stitch just like this. And now for the next row, you will always chain 2, turn your work around, and just keep repeating this row. So into the very first stitch right here, here is a puff stitch, here is the space we need to work in, not in that one, but in this one. Just insert your hook, grab the yarn, pull up, and again yarn over, insert, grab the yarn, pull up, go through all the loops and chain 1. And this is our repeat. So it's super easy, and you will see once you get the hang out of it, it works up really fast. You don't even have to count or anything. You just relax and crochet, and it works up really fast. So just keep crocheting all the way along, and I will show you one more time how to finish off the row. I'm here at the end of my row, and again, just like we did in the previous row, you can see right next to the puff is the space we need to work in. So right here, insert, grab the yarn, pull up, yarn over, insert, grab the yarn, pull up, pull through all the loops, chain 2, and repeat. So I will keep crocheting, and in just a moment I will show you how many rows I crochet to get the desired width I need for my pocket scarf. So just keep repeating this row over and over again. And this is how it looks like. I repeated this row in a total of 17 rows, and it's wide enough for me. But of course you can make it wider. All you have to do is just keep repeating this row until you have the width you need for your scarf. And I hope you can see how pretty this stitch looks like. I just really love it. It looks so complicated, but it's so easy. And now I will show you how to finish off this scarf. Once you finished your last puff stitch, all you have to do, instead of crocheting 2 chains, we will just crochet 1 chain. So chain 1, pull tight, and now we can cut the yarn. So just grab your scissors, cut the yarn, pull your hook through, and pull it tight. And now it's all nice and secure, and it's not going to open up. And all you have to do now is just sew in your ends. Now let's get started with the pockets. You can see I'm using 2 skeins at once again. And for my pocket, I'm going to crochet 17 chains. It's again the same multiple. It's a multiple of 2, which is 16 plus 1. We have 17 chains. So I'm going to crochet 17 chains. Once you're done with your chains, we can make sure it's going to fit on the scarf. So all I'm going to do is just put the chains on the scarf. I'm going to leave a little bit of space on the left side right here and on the right side. So this is the perfect size I need for my pocket. Of course, you could make them wider or shorter. This is totally up to you, but this is the perfect size for the pockets I'm going to crochet for my scarf. Now we will start with row 1, which will be a row of single crochet. So we will need the 2nd stitch from the hook. The loop on the hook does not count. So 1, 2, insert your hook, grab the yarn, pull up. You have 2 loops on your hook, and now make a single crochet. And this is all you have to do. We will need a total of 5 rows of single crochets. So this is row 1. So just keep repeating, making 1 single crochet in every stitch all the way along. I'm here at the end of row 1, and this is how it looks like. And like I said before, this is the first row of single crochets, and we need a total of 5. So you will chain 1, turn your work around, and into the very first stitch right here you will insert your hook, and again work 1 single crochet in every stitch. At the end of the row you will always chain 1, turn your work around, and repeat. So this is row 2, so just keep repeating until you have a total of 5 rows, just 1 single crochet in every stitch. I just finished my 5 rows of single crochets, and now we will crochet again the little puff stitch. And from the puff stitch we will need 6 rows, but you will see it works up really fast. So for the next row you will chain 2, turn your work around, and now we will start our puff stitch in the 2nd stitch from the hook, so right here. So skip the first one, go into the 2nd stitch, and just like we did before, insert your hook into the 2nd stitch, grab the yarn, pull up. Now yarn over into the same stitch, grab the yarn, pull up, grab the yarn, pull through all the loops, and chain 1. And this is how it looks like, and this is our repeat. So skip the next stitch, go into the next one, just right here, grab the yarn, pull up, yarn over, insert into the same stitch, grab the yarn, pull up, go through all the loops, and chain 1. So just keep repeating this all the way along. Skip a stitch, go into the next stitch, work your puff stitch, chain 1, and repeat. So skip the next one right here, go into the one next to it, and work your puff stitch. And I'll repeat this all the way along, and I will see you back at the end of row 6. I'm here at the end of my row, and we have 2 stitches left. So all you're going to do is again skip 1 and work the puff stitch in the last stitch. So just like we did before, I think you get the puff stitch now. So just work your puff stitch, and now again chain 2, just like we did in our scarf. And we will do exactly the same thing. So again, into the stitch next to the puff stitch, into the little space right here, you will insert, work your puff stitch, chain 1, and repeat. Again, into the next space, 1 puff stitch, chain 1, and repeat. And we will need a total of 6 rows working in the puff stitch. So just keep repeating this all the way along until you finish 6 rows of the puff stitches. I just finished my 6 rows and this is how it looks like. And now to make it all nice and even, we will be crocheting another 5 rows of just single crochets, which is also super easy. We are going to finish off the row, chain 1, turn the work around, and now we will make single crochets. If you turn the work around a little bit, you can see the stitches where we need to work our single crochet. So chain 1, insert your hook into the same space where we worked our puff stitch. So right in there, grab the yarn and crochet a single crochet right next to the puff on top. So right here, here's the puff stitch and here's the stitch we need to work our second single crochet, just in here. And then again into the same space we worked our puff, and of course here again on top of the puff stitch. It's a little bit harder sometimes to get in, but you see it works up really good. And this is all you have to do. So just 1 single crochet in the stitches I just showed you, and you should have a total of 16 stitches. So just keep repeating this all the way along. I just finished my single crochets, but it's very important to make a single crochet into the very last stitch right here. Just make sure you have a total of 16 stitches, and this makes a nice and even edge. And this is row 1 of single crochets. So you will again chain 1, turn your work around, and 4 more rows of just single crochets. So we have a total of 5 rows. So just, this is row 2. So just keep repeating until you finish 5 rows of single crochets. I just finished my 5 rows of single crochets and we are done with our pocket. And all we have to do now is just chain 1, pull tight, and leave a long yarn tail, because this is the tail we will be using to sew our pocket to the scarf. So you can see I left a really long yarn tail here, and now we can cut the yarn. So just cut it, grab your hook and pull the yarn through so it's all nice and secure. And now I will show you how to sew on the pocket to the scarf. Of course, you need to crochet the same one more time, so we have a total of 2 pockets. Now just grab your scarf, lay down the pocket, and find the place you would like to sew your pocket on. Mine is on row 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But of course, this is totally up to you. You can sew it on wherever you would like, but I like the way it looks on row 9. So just make sure it's laid down all nice and even. Now grab your yarn needle, pull it through, and we can start sewing in our pocket. So we will just hold the pocket in place, and I will go through the stitch right here in the very beginning, and make sure you're going through the scarf and pull tight. Now we will go from the bottom to the top, just like this. You can see I'm making sure I'm by my edge here, so it's all nice and even. Pull the yarn through, and now we will go from the top through the bottom. So just like this, and pull the yarn through. Just keep your time with this. Make sure the pocket is all nice and even, and you will see it's going to look great. And again, from the bottom to the top, pull the yarn through. And with this technique, you will barely see where we sewed it together. And now from the top through the scarf to the bottom, pull through and pull tight. And this is all I'm going to do to repeat on those 3 sides right here. You can see it's really easy to do, and you can't even tell where we sewed it together. So I will finish sewing on my pocket, and I will show you in just a moment how it looks like. Okay, I just finished sewing on my pocket, and this is how the pocket looks like. I really like it. And now I will show you how to finish off. So I will show you here one more time. This is how it looks like, and I really love it. Now I'm here on my back side, and what I'm going to do to secure it, I will make a little loop. So I will just go through 2-3 stitches right here, pull the yarn through, leave a loop just like this, go through with your yarn needle and pull the yarn all the way through. I will take my finger, hold it down, and now we can pull it to make sure we have a knot, so that way it's all nice and secure. And now I will just use 2-3 stitches to sew in my ends. So just grab your needle, pull through. I always like to go through the opposite direction, just like this, pull it through, and again from the opposite side, pull the yarn through, and one more time, go through and pull the needle through the stitch. Of course, you can do it a couple more stitches. I always like to make sure it's all nice and secure. So just go through a couple more times, and then we can cut the yarn. So just pull it on nice and tight, and now cut the yarn. And you will do exactly the same thing on the other side. And I'm going to attach some tassels. I really like the way it looks. Of course, it's optional, you don't have to, but I will show you how to do this. To attach the tassels, I will use a smaller hook, like a 6mm. It doesn't matter which size it is. You can use a 5 or 4. And I cut 60 strength of yarn, and I took 2 at the same time. And now we can start attaching them. So all you have to do is cut the yarn for the length you want. I always like to make them longer so I can cut them the length I want to. So fold it in half, grab your crochet hook, insert it on the edge right here, or you could even do it in the middle, wherever you would like to start. Just pull the hook through. You can see my yarn is folded in half. Make sure it's all nice and even, just like this. And now grab the yarn through your hook, just like this. Pull through. Now you can see we have a loop here, and I will insert my thumb and my finger, pull it through and pull tight. And this is all you have to do to attach your tassels. So again, grab 2 strength of yarn, make sure they're nice and even, fold them in half, and again grab your crochet hook, and I always leave a little bit of space in between them. Grab the yarn, pull the yarn through, and again we have a loop. Go through with your fingers and pull tight. And I'm going to repeat this all the way along on this side and on the opposite side, and then I will cut the tassels and we are done with our pocket scarf. And this is how it looks like. These are my tassels. Of course, you could make more if you would like. I tried to cut them all nice and even as I could. So this is how it looks like. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Now you can see the stitches even better. It was so much fun to crochet this beautiful scarf, and it's so warm, and I really love it. I can't wait to see your finished scarves. You can find me on Instagram. I would love to see your scarves. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe. Have a great time crocheting, and I hope to see you back soon. Bye.